Hello everybody, it's Rachel at From Moments to Milestones, and I'm here today with a new card class. This is a card class featuring Bella Boulevard Birthday Bash papers, as well as this PhotoPlay Slimline card box. It comes with the pre-cut box that we're going to put together, and it also comes with 3 Slimline cards and 3 envelopes. So we're going to put this together. So your kit, I have the cover page, I don't have that on mine, with the instructions that have pictures and detailed instructions on how to put them together, as well as the supplies we used. You'll have the 3 card kits, as well as the kit to decorate the box. And we're going to go ahead and open up, get that out of there. So I guess I'll show you real quickly. So that's the box, and then I have the 3 cards inside in the envelope. So we have Happy Birthday, Make a Wish, Let's Celebrate. This sweet little animal balloon, Happy Birthday, Time to Celebrate. And I hope your day is filled with all kinds of happy. So those are what we're going to create. So I'm going to tuck those back in there. And we're going to we'll start with the box. So you have the 3 card bases and the envelopes and all this. We're going to set all this aside for now. And we're just going to need, this is the box. So PhotoPlay has excellent instructions included. So in my instructions, I didn't add anything. We're just directed you here. They have great pictures and great instructions, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to put that together. So we're going to need a bone folder, and I'm going to go ahead, and some of it's already folded so it fits in the packaging, but we're just going to reinforce all those lines, and they kind of all fold in the same direction. And then we're going to get the edges as well. So we'll fold everything in. All right, so we have the top of the box here. You have 2 smaller things, 2 smaller areas here, and then so you can see the box is going to look up something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put adhesives. I'm going to get some, well, you can use wet adhesive or some double-sided tape, which I thought I had in here. We're going to fold this little, we're going to put glue on this tab, and we're going to fold it, and we're going to put it on the outside. I'm really close here. We're going to put it on the outside, and that is so that on the inside of your box, when you're sliding in things in and out, you have a nice smooth surface and nothing's going to get caught. And then we're going to, so we're going to do that little one, and then we're going to pull the smaller piece on the outside, and we're going to cover that with paper anyway, but it still has a nice clean finish. You won't see that little tab, and it's not going to catch on nothing on the inside. Alright, so I went ahead and found some double-sided adhesive here, and I'm going to put some on the tabs. Wet glue works here too, but I don't want to wait for it to dry, and sometimes it can warp a little, and I don't want to mess with that either. Alright, so we've got all the backing removed, and then let's see, I'm just going to fold it up, and I'm just going to leave it flat, and that way I'm going to butt it right up to that. There's a score line right there, and I will make sure that that bottom catches on that, and then press. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. All right, so same thing right here. There's that score line. I'm going to butt that up to it and then wrap that edge. Rest it so that part's good. And now we're going to put adhesive on these two panels here, and then we're going to pull the box up and around. All right, I've got the backing removed off this flap here. And so I'm going to close the box. It's kind of, and I'm going to catch again on that score line and wrap it around. And then I'm going to give it a good press. My bone holder to get in there. All right, so it's going to look like that. I hope you can see that. I know I'm really close. There we go. It's going to look like that on the edge. Alright, so we have the bottom of our box put together, and now we're going to put the top together. So you have these two tabs here. I'm going to fold them in and put adhesive on them, and then they're going to glue to the inside. So remove the backing. There's that piece. Alright, so now we have our box made just like that. Very nice. And now we're going to cover it. So let's go ahead and find your kit that has, it's going to have this pink gingham, the blue gingham. So we're going to get everything out of there. And we need all the little bits. So let's grab, you should have 2 strips of blue. These are for the lid. And then you should have 2 strips of this party hats paper. I only have one. I didn't cut my back. So you're going to have one that's slightly thicker than the other, and that's going to be for the back. I'm going to leave my back blank. I didn't want to cut into a whole piece of paper for that. And then you have these 2 rectangles that are for the edges. So we're going to go ahead and put these on. I'm just going to use some tape runner. You're free to use whatever adhesive you want. Obviously some wet glue is going to give you some wiggle room, which is nice. So the thinner of the 2 is going to go on the front, and you'll have try to just center it on there the best that you can. Press down. Just flip it over and give it a good press that way. So there's the party hats, and then we're going to put these 2 rectangles on the edge like so. And if you prefer the pink gingham, you are certainly welcome to use that instead, or mix it up however you want to do it. that. And then you should have the 2 squares and the 2 strips. They're exactly the same, so one of them is going to be for the front, and the other one is going to go on the top. And then the 2 little squares are going to go on the side. So we'll go ahead and put those on. Alright, so there's that. So now we have our sides on there. And now we're going to work on the tag. So I've used the tag. When I adhered it, I only have foam on the bottom half of the tag so that I can tuck my box lid in there and it stays shut. So that's what we're going to do. So you should have 2, just up here so you can kind of see what we're doing. You should have 2 tags. And on my tag, we use the white one for thickness and stability, and then this is for decoration. So I'm going to cut about a 1/2 inch off of that. So if you're looking at your tag with the hole at the top, you're going to cut off a 1/2 inch from the left side. So it is about 2 1/4. So I'm going to go into 1 3/4. Cut that off. And then I'm going to glue that onto the tag. Alright, and then you should have a red strip of cardstock. So I'm going to put a line of glue. And I'm just going to push that right against the top of that blue paper. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess. So there's that. And now we're going to put together our little cupcake. So you should have a blue cupcake wrapper. You're going to have a heart. We're going to use that for a cupcake and the frosting. So this die actually comes with something that looks more like a cupcake, but we don't have that piece. We've lost it, or we didn't get it. I'm not sure. But either way, this is going to work. Nobody's going to know. I'm just going to improvise a little. So I'm going to glue that heart to the back of the cupcake wrapper like so. And then our little frosting is just going to go sit on top of the cupcake. You'll see a little bit of it, little or as much as you want to see. I don't want to see that much. Alright, so that piece is going to go there, and then the happy birthday you should have. Where happened to my happy? I don't know. Alright, I found my happy. You flew away with the paper trimmer that I had out earlier. Alright, so I'm going to put foam on the back of the happy birthday, and the little foam squares work pretty good for this. So I'm going to grab some of those. Alright, so that should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my cupcake. And I just have it over here off to the side. I didn't pop it up. You could if you wanted. Take off the backing. And let's put down the happy. And then the birthday. Make sure that's straight. All right, I'm going to add one little touch to, we have the happy birthday on there. I'm going to add some glitter to my cupcake. So there's some different swirl marks, whatever you want to do. I'm just gonna add some just for some added fun. A little glue down, scratch a piece of paper here. And I have Hero Arts Prisma glitter, so I'm just gonna put that down. Alright, and finally, let's see, you should have a big long piece of crochet thread, and you're gonna cut it into 4 equal pieces. I have one of mine already cut. But if you fold it in half again and cut, so you're gonna have 4 pieces, and I'm just gonna stick those pieces through the hole, and we're gonna tie a bow. Get your bow the way you want it. I'm good with that. I do have one little long piece, so I'm going to even this up a little bit. These are not the scissors for that job. Let's try this. Much better. Okay. So now my tag is ready to go on the front of my box. So what I want to do is I want to center it, but I just want adhesive on the bottom. So I have some foam here. So I'm going to put a nice strip along the bottom. I think we'll do a couple. So that's all I'm going to put on there. So I'll peel off the backing and then bring this over, and I'm going to center it side to side, about an inch or so from the bottom. Make sure that's straight. And then I'm going to actually open it, flip it over, and press so that foam gets on there real good. And now I have a nice closure for my box. So the box is ready to go. So now let's work on the cards. Alright, so our first one is going to be this Happy Birthday Make-A-Wish. So you will need to grab one of your card bases from your, you should have the envelopes and card bases. So I'm going to grab one of the envelopes, we're going to set aside, and I'm going to go ahead and fold on the score line and reinforce that. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put this rainbow paper down onto my card base. Alright, so that's good. And now we're going to build up our circles. So we have a large, so let's build up our elements for the circles. So we're going to do a couple of cupcakes. So we know how to do those. We just did those. So let's put those together. And a blue. And I did not pop anything up. I just put them straight down. And then if you want to add the glitter to the cupcakes, I'm going to do that now. And just like before, just follow some of the swirl lines, whatever. Where's my lid? Let's add the glitter. Alright, so our little cupcakes are done. We'll let those dry while we work on our present. So with a present, you have this box and you have a lid. Now, when these dies cut, there are like embossed lines here, so you can kind of see the 3D shape of the lid and the box, but with this paper, it's almost impossible to see. And to just create a little definition, I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges. I'm using Evergreen Bath Distress ink, and I'm just going to ink the edges of the whole box real lightly, because we didn't really ink anything else, so but it'll help the box stand out. And then if you want, there is a score line right there, and there is one on this as well. Where is it? So you can see when I'm folding it's kind of there, so I'm just going to go in and add some there, and it kind of defines that. It's not really necessary. Once you put the bow and stuff on it, it kind of helps anyway, but I think it helps a little bit more. So I'm going to put this on there, and if you can see the score lines, there's one there and there. That's the bottom of your box, and it will slightly be longer on the edges, but pretty much go up to the top. Okay, so there's your box, and then this ribbon with the X is going to go just like so. So however you can get it to fit on there. And you could certainly ink this too if you wanted to. I'm just going to glue it down. And you see it matches. The biggest thing would be like right here, it doesn't quite match up, and that's okay. This whole bow is going to cover all of that, so no worries there. And then you have these two pieces, which are like your ribbon curls. So you can have them sticking out. You can have them rounded, close together, both coming. However you want to have your ribbon bows or your ribbon tails. They have those little circles on them, and I like to glue them together. So I'm just going to glue them together like that and place them right in the center of that X. Just like so. Okay. And now you have this bow, and you also have this second piece. So this has 2 loops, and this one has 4. These 2 loops fit exactly on top, but I'm going to pop them up. Grab a couple foam squares. And I'm going to put that right on top, like so. And then that piece I'm just going to glue down. So there's your little present. And now you have these 2 circles. So you have a large one with happy birthday, make a wish, and that is where we're going to put right in the center these 2 cupcakes. So get them so where they fit in there, and then I'm going to pop up that first one. So let's tuck him in first. Like so. And then we'll put some foam on the back of that one. here. All right, so that one's good. And then our present, I did not pop that up anymore since the bow is already popped up. We'll just glue him down right in the center over Let's Celebrate. All right. We're going to bring our card over. And these sentiments, this larger circle goes at the top. And the smaller one goes at the bottom. So you can have them really close, you can have them far apart, whatever works for you. But they're going to hang off. I did not pop mine up. You certainly could if you wanted. But I'm going to hang them off, but I don't want to cut into my Make-A-Wish. So right in there looks good. I'm going to put glue on there. Press that down. Let's do the Let's Celebrate. So right in there, I don't want any glue. Alright. So those are on. So now I'm going to take a pair of straight edge scissors and flip it over and trim off the excess. Card is finished. All right, our next card with party hats. So we'll get out those pieces. And the first thing we're going to do, well, we need another card base. So I'm going to grab one of those. And let's go ahead and get it folded. And then I'm going to stick this Happy Birthday to You print onto the card base. And then this piece is going to go centered. Now I pop mine up, so I'm going to go ahead and add foam to the back of that. Alright, I have all the backing removed from that. And now I'm going to center this frame onto that card panel. There we go. And now we have our 3 party hats. So, and you need the trim and the little pom-pom on top. So I added, we'll do that afterwards. So let's put together our party hats. So I'm going to put a little glue at the bottom and then put that white trim piece on. So we have those, and then let's put the pom-pom on top. Okay, those are good. And then you can see on mine are glittery, and I just used a Zig 2-way glue pen and that same glitter. I'm going to get out my paper here and this Zig 2-way glue pen, and I'm just going to color onto the pom-pom. I think I have a glitter that has a little bit more in it, might be easier to use, yes. And then I'm just going to tuck that in there. And there it is. And then on the bottom, I'm going to color with glue pen on the bottom. And I'll go ahead and then I'm going to fold that paper over it and kind of press that glitter in. But once it dries, it'll be good. So there's that. So I'll repeat that step on those other two hats. All right, my little party hats are all glittered up and ready to go. Okay. So let's go ahead and put them on the inside. I'm going to use that same foam so they're the same thickness. I'm just going to put a piece of foam on the back of each one. And you can put them in any order. I have the red at the top. And I'm just going to center it inside the circle. And we have the orange at the bottom. And the little rainbow print in the center. Like so. So there's your party hats. And then we're going to finish it off with this little sentiment. I hope your day is filled with all kinds of happy. I have mine on the bottom. You could put it in the center. You could put it at the top. Wherever you want. So I'm just going to put a line of glue. I'll put mine in the center this time. And if you wanted, you could certainly put some foam under there, which I may do so that it doesn't peel the backing off, so that it doesn't get squashed. Should have done that before. There we go. All right, that card is finished. All right, our last card is this happy birthday. Time to celebrate with a cute little dog balloon. So you're going to need your final card base as well. So I'm going to bring that over and fold it up. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and put the blue down, but that's it for now. We're going to wrap some of more of that crochet thread around the dog paper. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's string. So we'll just do the blue. All right, and set that aside. So let's build up our little dog. So we don't need any of these right now. So you're going to need these pieces here. And you can see where mine is darker here than to kind of create some depth. So what I did was use some red ink. And I have lumberjack plaid. I think in the instructions I may have put candied apple. Really any red that's close to this color will work. And I'm just going to go in and cover the whole thing. I'm not going to go super dark because we're going to have to wait for it to dry to be able to adhere to it. So just a nice even layer of color. All right, so it's just a little bit darker than the other red. I'm going to clean that up. Okay. And we need to wait for that to dry or nothing is going to stick to it. So while we wait for that to dry, let's go ahead and layer up our happy birthday. So you should have a vellum shadow of each word and then the blue happy birthday. Now inside your press and seal, you'll have the birthday because the B is separate and so is that tiny little I. So if you have any trouble getting your press and seal, like where I have a nice thing where it's going to pull apart, I would recommend cutting some scissors and cut right up close to the die cut, and then you're able to get a place to start it open. And you'll want to be careful, you don't want to rip anything. All right. So there's my birthday. I'm going to leave that little dot on there because I don't trust myself. And then I do need to cut out some of the chads are still left in there, so we'll get those out. And then I'm just going to glue those on there. Alright, that's ready to go. And now we're going to bring these over. So I'm going to get out some more foam squares, and on the back of all of these I'm going to put foam to create some dimension. And then we're just going to match them up. I am also going to use a little wet glue just in case that ink isn't dry. So just right on top where it goes. There's a little hind leg there. Let's see, I think this is his other front leg. Little nose. And his ear. Alright, so there's our little dog. And I did also use a white gel pen to add some more highlights for the balloon, kind of make it appear shiny. So I have a white gel pen here, started on my finger, and then I'm just going to go in and add some like so. Alright, so now we're ready. So let's grab our animal balloon paper, our white circle, and the dog, and your string. So I'm gonna have my dog, I'm gonna put the circle down. So let's do that first. Just in case I want to move it, I'm going to use this. And it's about 1.5 inches down from the top, I'd say, yeah. And it's centered. So there's my circle. And then you're going to put your little dog. I put another layer of foam behind my dog. You can skip that step if you plan on mailing this card. I just like the dimension it gave. Okay. One more right in there. Right. And then I'm going to take this string, and if you're not using foam, then just go ahead and glue it or tape it to the back. I'm just going to put it on one of those. A little more glue. This will give me some wiggle room. And I kind of want him, I don't want him right in the center because of the happy birthday, so he's kind of like he's floating up and off to the left slightly. So there he is, and that string is coming out. So I'm going to get a piece of tape, and I'm going to wrap that around and tape it down. Score tape would work, regular office tape. So that's ready. And we're going to keep this little bit. I don't know if you can see, I have the tiniest bow here, and you can skip this step. You could just have a couple tails hanging, or you can just leave it the way it is. But this is what I tied the bow out of. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down onto the card base now. So we're just going to center it on there. And I'll have a very thin blue border. Alright. And then we have our happy, which is slightly on that. I have a little bit of red on there. Let's see if I can get that off. Get my sand eraser. If not, that's okay. Alright, I got most of it off. Alright, so our happy and our birthday. And you could tuck it behind. I might actually do it like that, where it goes right between the I and the B. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. I'm happy there. And on this card I have it behind. This time I'm going to tuck it right in there. So there's the happy birthday, and then you have left this time to celebrate, and I pop that up and put it right underneath. So just cut up some foam squares to fit on there because it's kind of thin. And then the final touch is if you want to tie that bow. So I am just going to tie a little bow. So I got this, and then I'm going to just keep pulling it until I get it as small as I want it. Pretty good there. Cut the ends off. So there's my little bow. And I'm just going to put a glob of glue there and stick that down. like I said, you can totally skip that step. You don't want to fuss with that itty bitty bow, but I think it's kind of fun. And I don't like the way those tails are hanging, so I'm just going to put a little glue and put them where I want them. So there we go. And that card is finished. Alright, well that completes this video for this Birthday Bash Slimline box and card set. So I hope you enjoyed these cards and this class. If you're interested in a kit, you can check out our website at www.frommomentstomilestones.com and you can find it there. This is the Birthday Bash card kit. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.